Hi, my name is Tanja. I'm a dance artist from Northern Finland, and this is my art project called Making a Dance Out of Whatever. This time I have been thinking a lot about female hormones. I am 43 years old, and I'm certainly feeling that I'm going towards the menopause and the hormones are affecting. Actually, I do feel this is a kind of longer history. I feel ever since when I started my periods at age of 13, I have had some hormonal issues throughout my adult life, so 30 years now. And it's fascinating. I've been investigating this. I am also, as well as being a dance artist, I'm a cranio-sacral therapist. And as part of my studies, this is like around 10 years ago when I studied, I read this book called Healing Our Hormones, Healing Our Lives by Linda Crockett. And it's a good book. I started reading it again with the hormonal things that I'm feeling going on in my body right now. And what is interesting about this book is that it's looking at the hormones from the physical, emotional, and spiritual points of view, and kind of trying to bring them together. And so I thought probably next couple of sessions I might focus on female hormones. And I think this session now I am going to look at the cycle that women do each month. And I'm going to read a little bit from the book for each phase of the cycle. But this is what I find fascinating is that the hormones and the subconscious is so affecting the way I am, and I found incredibly interesting. So I'm going to start with the menstrual phase, so full on there. And so a little bit about that from the book. In this phase, the restoration, women are most open to influences of the spiritual side of their being. With all hormones and transmitters at the lowest point of their cycle, they are physically and mentally slower than in any other phase, causing reduction in central nervous system stimulation, along with inhibition of the sympathetic nervous system. Both of these lessen their awareness of the external world around them, causing instead a greater inner awareness, allowing for an opening into their spiritual consciousness. Yes, and this is more like kind of trance-like phase time. So, and this is very much about kind of turning inwards, and I feel I don't want to be much in contact with the outside world. I'm quite happy just to kind of slow down and be in my own body. And somehow I always feel also with my own hormonal things what happened in me. I've always reacted with my skin, with eczema. And somehow I always felt that the menstrual phase is like default, and that's a time when I can reset my body again. But it is definitely just me, nobody else. It's just turning inwards and being with myself. Then after that, there is a follicle phase. And this is, again from the book, this is a phase of great activities since all the hormones and neurotransmitters are active in promoting the new growth of the womb lining and the development of a follicle. Estrogen levels are rising, the activity of the central nervous system is increased, and high levels of dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins stimulate the brain into activity, all making women more highly stimulated. As noradrenaline begins to slowly rise, it starts to bring women out of the trance-like state of the menstrual phase and makes them more conscious of the external world around them. And it's certainly, I can feel it in my own body that once I don't want to hear about anybody or something in my menstrual phase, I can start, okay, it's actually all right to see and do stuff, and it is definitely the turning towards the outside world. This is then followed by ovulation phase, which is only for 2-3 days. The positive feelings and sense of well-being that have been created during the follicle phase are intensified during the extraordinary ovulation phase. During this short 3-day phase, women feel a peaceful exuberance, encouraging them to be open and yielding for their procreative duties. They are helped through this by the rising of progesterone, I can't say that word, progesterone, and the inhibiting neurotransmitters, gamma-aminobutyric acid, whatever that is, both of which reduce the activity of the central nervous system, making women calm and relaxed during this phase. With endorphins rising to their highest level in the cycle, women respond to the world around them with an enormous enthusiasm, contentment, and joy, encouraging their potential mate. High serotonin makes them feel very optimistic about the future, supporting their mating instinct, while rising levels of testosterone cause a peak in their sexual arousal and desire and set the mood for procreation. Yeah, so it's so kind of present when the ovulation phase also happens. So it's this kind of being outwards and then just feeling lovely to be a woman and kind of female, just enjoying. It's wonderful, but it's short-lived. There is then the luteal phase, which is the last one in this cycle. As progesterone rises steadily during this phase, the activity of the central nervous system declines after ovulation, causing a lowering of mood, which is magnified by a sharp decrease in endorphins and a drop in serotonin and dopamine. Can't say that. Dopamine levels. This brings women down from the exuberance of ovulation and causing an uncomfortable edge in some women. But what makes this phase so distinguishable from the other is the high level of noradrenaline maintained from ovulation, causing a heightened stimulation of the sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight or flight nervous system, and generating an unusual self-awareness. This brings women inwards again, but this time without the high amounts of feel-good neurotransmitters. Instead, low levels of serotonin, dopamine, and endorphins can cause some women to feel depressed, tense, and hostile. And again, incredibly clear in my own body is that when I've been feeling so good, it's like, not interested in anymore. And even, what are you doing? It's like everything is just irritating and just making me uncomfortable in my skin. And then we go back to the circle where there is the menstrual phase, slowing down inwards. I want to be on my own phase, just kind of looking after myself, listening to myself. Don't want to hear anything about the world. Until there's the follicle phase, I start becoming a bit more curious. What's out there? Into ovulation, which is the lovely female sexual phase. The world couldn't be any better. Followed by, again, the luteal phase. I just can keep a bit of edge. And feel a bit angry about everything. And turning again into slow down the menstrual phase. Inwards. Don't want to know about the world, just me. Into the follicle, becoming aware. Of the world around. Into the short ovulation phase. Into luteal. Back to inwards. So this is how it goes, for me anyway, and I'm sure a lot of women recognize it as well. It's a very clear circle. We keep going around every month. And of course, if there are things that affect the different glands of the endocrine system that are creating this cycle, there can be lots of different types of disruptions. And I'm sure there's lots of different books about hormones, but for me, this is great at the moment. And I'll be reading this. And yeah, and it's like a puzzle. It's a mystery for women, as much, probably even more so for men to understand women. But it's fascinating. And I'm hoping to dig deeper of the kind of underlying issues that might be maybe disrupting my own hormonal system. And so I think next week I'm going to go deeper into the hormonal endocrine system, looking at the different glands that are part of creating this cycle. And yeah, I don't know what's going to come out from there, but let's see. Anyway, I hope you have some kind of balanced Sunday ahead. Anyway, all right, see you later.